Will you tell us one thing that your aunt told you that surprised you?
That surprised me,
Mm-hmm.
that she was building a house. That was the first thing that surprised me when I went, because I did go to find her. She did come to us first in dreams and let us see that she was okay, that she was had returned to a youthful state, and she looked to me like she was in her 25 to 30 years old, pretty cute little thing, little pixie haircut, just cute as could be. She died when she was in her 60s with gray hair. And she was just cute as she could be, and she had come and shown us that she was fine, she was healthy, she, no problem, but it really wasn't enough for me, so I did make the effort. You can go out of body, and you can get to these people in spirit that you've lost. It requires a huge effort, and I've only done it a few times, and, I can't see myself doing it real often, because it just requires too much effort, but I wanted to know what her reality was like, and so I did make the effort, and I did read about this. The reason I knew you could do this was because Robert Monroe had mentioned it in his book, Journeys Out of the Body, that he had done it. And so I thought, well, if he can do it, then it's possible, it can be done. And so I did. I made this, and it seemed like it took forever. It really seemed like it took forever. It was strange, the arc of the movement that I took. But when I came to her, she was sitting on, like I said, I believe I've already said that, she was sitting on the side of a grassy hill with a lake at the bottom of the hill, a beautiful lake. It's like hill country, it's like hilly, like around here, which was where she and her husband had planned on retiring, was in the Texas hill country. And she was sitting on the side of the hill. And I just floated down and sat down beside her, and I just said, "Hi, what you doing?" And it startled her, She turned around and looked at me and she said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I came to see what you're doing. I wanted to know what you're doing. I haven't heard from you lately. I want to know what you're doing and what your life is like." And she said, "Well, I'm building a house." And she pointed over to the side, and there were people working. There were actually people working on this building. I said, "That's not a house, it's a lodge. That's huge. Why are you building such a big house?" And she said, "Well, I wanted to have a room for everybody in the family when they pass over, so they'll have their own room until they decide where they want to go. And have their own place." And it's this big, beautiful, huge. It is a lodge. It could hold our entire family, uncles, aunts, cousins, grandchildren. Everybody could stay at this place. And it was a beautiful place. Part of it had when I was watching, some men were lowering a pitched glass roof on one section of this, and I said, "Well, that's really cool. Whoever's got that room, that's really cool. You can see the sky." And she said, "That's for Donna," and that's her daughter. She said, "That's for Donna. I thought she would like that, and that's going to be her room." And she had the lower floor. This was a big building. The lower floor that faced the lake was a glass wall, which is complete glass, so that she could always and stone floors. And I went inside another time that I'd been there. I went inside to see what it looked like, and it was all stone floors. And it was very much it was very lodge-like. This was huge, and it was something that she would have built herself in a smaller form had they been able to retire like she wanted to. But it was she had a beautiful view of this lake. She had everything that she wanted for her retirement. She created where she is. She created that, and as something that she would do, because this is something that she would do, she created it large enough to accommodate everyone in her family that came and wanted to stay with her for a little while before they decided where they wanted to go or where they should be. So she told me, I asked her another time if they ate anything. Do you eat? Do you have food? And so I sat with her at a little social gathering, outdoor social gathering, and there was food on the tables. But nobody really was eating it, It was like it was there if you wanted to, but nobody really seemed to need to. So there was food. There's food there and you can eat, but I don't think that you need to eat to sustain yourself. If you enjoy food, you want to cook, whatever, you can do that. But I don't think that it's necessary. It didn't seem to be necessary to me.